Hold on to your goggles. It's time for the Epic Engagement Adventure. Hello, greetings, grasshoppers. You know who this is. If you don't, Epic Engagement Adventure is here. Today, my friend, today we have the guy who knows a guy. His name is Michael Whitehouse. That's right. He's pointing at himself right now. Let me tell you, the first time that I met Michael, it was at a big networking type of thing. And this guy wrote a blog article about me and then sent me the link and said, "Is it okay if I post this on my blog?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I thought to myself, this one has moves. This one knows how this flow goes. And so I am so proud to introduce you, Michael Whitehouse. Michael, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I should write more blog articles about more people. That just occurred to me because I've only written, there's very few I've actually written blogs about, but I mean, you got the goggles and the whole thing. Because I went to that event and I was thinking like, okay, this is business, so business is going to be serious and everyone's going to be serious in business. Unfortunately, I do have the serious business look and I hide my geeky side because, I can do the serious business thing. And then I see you at that event and everyone's like, "Oh, RJ, yeah, no, she's great." And I'm like, wait, but she looks very obviously geeky in a professional networking setting. Wait a minute. That's brand differentiation and it worked. Oh, I love the business world now. This is exciting.
Well, and I was so excited because brand new way, brand new thought. There's so many things are taught traditionally, right?
Mm-hmm.
And folks kind of toe that line, but not you, Michael. You presented me something whole different, and that's only one of the reasons that I'm having you here today. Please tell the people who you are, what you do, why you do it.
All right. So I am Michael Whitehouse, the guy who knows a guy. And back in 2014, I wandered into a networking event. I didn't say wandered. I strode confidently into a networking event. I was moving to an area where I knew nobody and had a half-baked idea for a business. At the time, I thought it was fully baked. It was not. It was half-baked. So I had no job, no business, but I knew I needed a network. And someone told me what the main chamber of commerce was in the area I was moving to. It was driving distance. So the day before I moved to my new apartment, I went to my first networking event and I started meeting people. Total ignorance on fire. I didn't know how to network. I didn't know how it was supposed to be done. But in retrospect, I realized it's almost from a place of imposter syndrome. I knew I had nothing to offer. The only thing I had to offer was the other people I was meeting at these events. So I started introducing them. And before you knew it, I was like, "Hey, do you know the mayor of this city over here?" Because I'm like, "No, I don't." "Oh, you probably should. Let me connect you." "Oh, do you know the person who runs the biggest event in the county?" "No." "Okay, let me connect you." Because, we live in a relatively small county by New England standards. And so even the biggest, most influential people aren't rock stars. And so they were open to being introduced. And of course, to me, I'm like, "Whoa, I can meet these people. Oh, boy." So I realized they're all just people and they want to meet people. And within 6 months, I'm making introductions to movers and shakers. And a few years later, I realized, I seem to know a thing that other people aren't doing. It's easily replicable. Why don't I write it down? So I wrote it down. And I wrote this book, The Guy Who Knows a Guy. And I basically, the main reason I wrote the book, besides to share what I knew, was so I could put author in my bio. Because, when you're an author is one step off from expert. And I wanted people to think better of me. So I wrote a book. And there's actually a chapter in the book where I talk about the value of writing a book for the sake of writing a book. Because once you write a book, you're an author. It's not like good book author. It's just, there's best-selling author. It's a step above. But author is author. Your book can be full of spelling mistakes and incomplete sentences and incoherent thoughts. But if it's got an ISBN number on the back of it, you're an author. I like to think mine's better than that, but that's how I got there. And then in 2020, there was this little pandemic thing, which blew up everything and forced me to do the thing I should have done all along. Also created the opportunity to do the thing that I really should have done, which was lean hard into my own entrepreneurship. Because I basically bounced from mediocre sales job to mediocre sales job. And because I decided I wanted to go I tried running a business. It was a game store, never made money. I tried some other things, didn't make money. Okay, I'm going to settle down and do the responsible thing and, get a job. But the jobs I got were sales jobs, and I kept not making much money. And my wife basically had to support me for many, many, many years. And she is an amazing and very patient woman who never lost faith in me. Long after I lost faith in myself, she was still standing there with me. So when 2020 came, I said, I'm going to lean into my thing. I'm going to figure out what the heck it is, partly boosted by some of this government assistance, and then later supported by gig work, DoorDash, Uber. And I'm like, I'm just going to ride this out because I realized I could drive Uber and make enough to pay the bills. I didn't have to go get some sales job. And for me, I'm an extrovert who likes to drive. So Uber's not even a work. It's like $30 an hour to listen to podcasts and meet strangers. It was awesome. In fact, sometimes I still do. I don't have to do it now. But sometimes I do it just for fun because it's, you never know who's going to get in the car. They're going to parties. They're going to the casino. I drive on weekends. It's so much fun. But so I leaned into that. And for a year and a half, explored, like, what am I going to be doing? And finally, Phil Palucha, who we both know, he said to me, Michael, sometimes some people get paid to make introductions. Not a lot of them. There's very few. But there are people who get paid just to make introductions. And I was like, what? That's like someone telling you, some people get paid to drink beer.
Yeah.
Except I can make introductions all day long. I can't drink beer all day long. So I started shopping that around. So I talk to people I know and say, hey, so people get paid to make introductions. How, what do you think about that? And finally, one person basically said, how much do you want? And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you go to all the events. You send me the people I want to meet. You save me all the time. And that's what became Networking Concierge. How much do you want me to pay you for that? I'm like, So by May of 2022, I had a 6-figure business doing that. Now I'm starting to lean back into some programs, some training courses, some things like that. But my focus is on doing the thing I naturally do and love doing, which is making introductions. And that's the main thing, my main business. And that's pretty much brings us up to date in a very condensed form.
That was condensed, and knowing you, I am impressed. Yes. Well, and it's one of those things where we think we have to do so many things to make a living, to eke a, tiny little existence out from the world, where when you zoom back, and especially you, Michael, with what I know you're passionate about, giving introductions never gets old for you. It never is going to go, okay, well, that's run its course. Because you're passionate about introducing people. It helps you be creative and expressive. And, I'm so glad to be on your list of people that you introduce people to. It's really, really a great big place to be. By the way, everybody, just get to know Michael. You need to do this. He is not scary at all. Gosh, what a beautiful story. Cause I can't remember when I met you, but it was before the big boom,
Yep. June 21.
June 21.
June 2021.
Yeah. Gosh. Well, so tell me, what kind of successes, you kind of mentioned, 6 figures. That's always success. I think you're also bringing in somebody to the business. I
am bringing my wife into the business. So
nice.
After 7 years of her supporting me, I'll finally be able to support her. And so she's going to be working with me. She's also going to be working on her own. She has a Glowforge craft business. So
beautiful.
She uses freaking laser beams. Pew pew.
Oh, I may need to get in touch with her.
Yeah. She can make all kinds of cool stuff in that Glowforge. So she does that kind of stuff, and it's just going to allow her to work the way she wants to work, because she's not digging the corporate environment so much anymore. I mean, who does? But it's the problem is she cares too much. The corporate environment, most people, like, they put up a shield and they're like, okay, not my job. Oh, looks like that's on fire. That looks like a you problem. Whereas she'd be like, that's on fire. I need to take care of it. I need to take care of this. I need to take care of that. Which is, she works like an entrepreneur. She gets paid like an employee.
Yeah.
She was covering someone's job because it was vacant for a while. And And I asked her, I'm like, you got 2 jobs, you getting 2 paychecks? And she's like, ha ha ha. And I'm like, I'm not kidding. And she says, yeah, someone else. There's a real estate investor who, she's a property manager, so a real estate investor who rents out a number of apartments and re-rents them. And he said the exact same thing. And I'm like, yeah, that's how entrepreneurs think. You do 2 jobs, you get paid twice. If I'm covering someone's job, I expect to get paid for it. I'll have clients say, hey, do you want to do this other thing? And I'll be like, sure, it's going to cost this much more. It's not like, hey, since you're working for us, you're also going to do this. The hell I am. That's not how this works. But if you're an employee, they can say, hey, could you just cover this other complete role for like 6 months?
Yeah.
And we'll give you like, a couple $100 bonus.
Yeah. Oh, you're just auditioning for your next thing. We just want to see how you're going to. No.
Yeah. She got promoted, and then she had to cover her old job for 6 months. It was awesome. So I'm excited to bring her on because, for one thing, she'll be happier, and happy wife, happy life. It is very, very, very true. And also, she is really good at the stuff I'm not good at. So if you want to be successful, do the things you're good at and not the things you're not good at. So I'm not good at systems, funnels, copywriting process, which is part of why I don't have programs other than I go meet lots of people and introduce you to the best of them, which is a very simple, logistically simple program. But I don't have courses, funnels, any of that kind of stuff in place just because I don't have the mind to put it together. So I am going to start doing like a monthly webinar, I think, because I do have some programs where I know some stuff I can teach. Pretty straight. I have an inner circle, which is get on a Zoom call with me once a week and ask me any questions you want. So open up my brain and you can take whatever you want from it. And it's priced accordingly. It's a fairly low cost program because it's pretty easy for me to run. I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, I'll answer your questions, sure. But for the people who need it, like having an entrepreneur who will tell them about everything that's functioning in their business can sometimes jump you ahead 6-12 months. Because like, oh, that's how you maintain an email list. Basic things of like, how do you build an email list? Well, you get people to sign up. No. What website do I log into to put an email list on? Like some people are at that stage and they could spend 6 months banging their head against the wall or trying to do a BCC list or something because they don't have that. So that's why I'm creating that. But she's going to be able to help me, do that next level thing. And those kinds of, on the disc profile, I'm high ID. She's much more CS. So we'll have the full profile, and then we will rule the world.
Yes.
I don't want to rule the world. That sounds like a lot of work, but we'll have a much more big and successful business.
Yeah. Having the systems that surround your business is, to me, it's key. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's not always where I go first. I always just want to step in front of a camera. Can I just step in front of a camera? I mean, you know what I mean? But having those things, I'm so glad that she's coming on. And honestly, you are living my dream. You are living my dream. And now I don't know if my wife would ever really want to work with me. But I want to retire her.
Yeah.
Yeah. She has stood on her feet so long, years and years. And I want to get her doing stuff that she wants to do just because she loves it. So
my wife and I, we've worked together at sci-fi conventions before.
So sure.
So we know what it's like to work together. We actually, some couples when they work together, it's like, whereas we have a better relationship when we're working together. It gives us something to talk about. It gives us projects to work on together. And also we'll be doing different parts of the same thing. And she won't be doing mission critical things. I think that's where the stress comes in, where like if she's doing the billing and I'm like, why aren't these bills sent out? We need the money. We don't have the money because you didn't send the bills. It won't be that kind of thing. She'll be building the systems for the future. If she doesn't build the funnel for 6 months, she doesn't build the funnel for 6 months. We don't have the funnel. It's not things that, she's not running life support. So it takes a lot of the pressure off the business personal relationship.
Beautiful. So the main question, the question of the hour, Mr. Michael, how do you engage your audience? Tell us everything.
Well, how do I engage my audience? So I'm going to respond to James's comment that I saw, because he says I downplay my skills as a writer. So I'm good at writing. I'm not good at writing that converts. But the way I engage in writing is the same thing that makes my audience like me. I think also makes it not make them give me money. So I'm still working on finding that balance. But when I write copy that I put in emails, blogs, whatever, I'm not starting from the point of I'm selling a thing. How do I sell it? A lot of copy that you read, it's clearly like I'm telling a story that's going to lead you down a path. And you start reading and you're like, this isn't even a story. This is, when I was young, my parents used to take me to the beach and I always enjoyed the surfing, blah, 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 blah. Like, this is, it's a fake story. It's a plastic story. Whereas when I tell a story, sometimes my email will, I'll write an email on Wednesday about something that happened on Monday in my life. And then I'll tie it back because I use my email list like a social media platform, like my own personal social media platform. So I'll say this thing happened yesterday, today, this morning I woke up and, fairly immediate stuff, partly because I have ADHD and I can't remember anything past last week. So I can't tell old stories. They're gone to me. But yeah, so I make it very personal. If you read my emails, you actually know to some degree what's going on in my life. Like you can actually kind of follow along, and then I will. What usually ends up happening is at the end, I'm like, oh, and if you want to learn more, my Inner Circle program might be beneficial to you. So here's how you join it. But it's kind of like I feel like I should probably sell you something at the end of all this writing. I've got this thing you could buy if you want or not, whatever. But that's how I create that thing, is that authenticity. And a platform I've discovered really rewards authenticity is TikTok. Which,
TikTok.
I look like your typical TikToker, obviously.
No, sure.
Yeah. So TikTok it's come a long way since it was Musical.ly. It is no longer it is still a site where people do goofy dances and tell jokes and whatever you want is on TikTok. But the discovery algorithm is so good. It's, as far as I can tell, nobody can figure out how to hack the discovery algorithm. So nobody really knows like what the way to do to manipulate it is, which means all you could do is just make the best content you can, and it will direct you to the people who should see it. And more than Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, it seems to do that. And I say this because my content is simply, I pull my phone out, and I express opinions about things like the labor shortage. That's gotten me so many hits. Gen Z and the workforce. Because a lot of what I talk about is how the world is changing. And if you think you're going to get a job and live on a paycheck, good luck, buddy. And how you can start a business. You can be a gig worker. It's all these different things. And the key thing I've found, if you want to get big on TikTok, is share an authentic opinion, something you really believe and know what you're talking about, but that's a bit controversial. Now, don't bait controversy, because then I think people will see that and be like, all right, this guy's a jerk. But if you're a bit controversial, when I post about the labor shortage, then I got a whole bunch of people on one side being like, yeah, these greedy corporations, and that's why I quit my job, and that's why I'm an Uber driver or whatever. And then the other side, you get the people who are like, these lazy kids, they don't want to work anymore. And then they start arguing in the comments and engage. But the thing to remember is negative comments are just as good as positive comments for the algorithm, because engagement is engagement. So whenever someone posts something negative, you don't need to argue with them. You just need to say, thank you for your opinion, because their opinion is worth another 50 to 100 views. So that person who's basically saying, you shouldn't be talking, you're totally wrong, just exposed you to 100 more people. So haters are awesome on TikTok.
Haters are awesome.
That's how in the last 6 weeks I have 2 posts that broke 150,000 views, and I've gone from 1,000 followers to 5,000 followers by simply stoking the conversation on there and keeping it going. Now, what I've not figured out is what to do with it. I've had a couple people who have reached out to me and say, hey, I saw you on TikTok, I wanted to connect, but not many. So there is another art form to putting the right link in the bio and that kind of stuff, which really haven't put any attention to. But I built the 5,000 followers just by sharing my opinion. I think a lot of people. I was watching a Gary Vaynerchuk video, and this guy was saying, "Yeah, I've pre-recorded 7 videos. Going to put them on TikTok. So I want to make sure I can do one a day, and and I'm worried that people this and that." And I'm like, I just started shooting videos, and I was running with 100 followers for months. I was like, I have opinions. I'm going to talk to my phone and share them. Now I need to actually stay somewhat consistent in what I talk about now that I actually have a following, because if I start talking about like geek stuff, my following was mostly there for economic stuff. They'd be like, okay, what are you talking about, buddy? Yeah. But it's the biggest mistake people make, I think, is they think too much about it. They're like, okay, my content's got to be perfect and formatted and exciting and engaging. And one, they never start because they think too much. Yeah. And two, it's too hard. They won't enjoy the process and they won't stick with it. You know, my podcast, my interview pod, my Guy Knows Guy podcast, Nerd versus Superpowers podcast, I've optimized them that if I put them up myself, it takes about 10 minutes past the interview. I now have a VA who does all that for me. But when I was doing it myself, I got it down to under 10 minutes to get the cover photo, get everything together, get it up. I found the right tools. I use Captivate that automatically creates blog posts. But I created a system that was efficient enough that I'd keep doing, because I realized if I had to do it, when it was taking 45 minutes, an hour, I was putting out an episode every 3 weeks. Because I'd be like, oh, I got to put out another episode. Okay. As opposed to, I didn't put out an episode this week. Okay. Let's do that right now. I'll actually sometimes when I got backlogged, because I kind of forgot about one of my podcasts, I got backlogged. One of my guests emailed me and said, hey, my episode, when's that coming out? And I was like, 20 minutes. Hold on.
Yeah.
Put it together. Boom. Your episode's out. Here you go. Promote it. Because, I had it recorded. I just hadn't gotten around to doing it because I'm not always super on top of things. But I optimized it to make it simple enough that I'd actually do it. The best system in the world is useless if you won't do it. So that optimization is key.
It is absolutely key. I know how you feel. I need to. It is on my list to start TikTok as well. I'm glad to hear that you're having a great experience with it. I know a lot of people who have. I think what has thrown me off is, again, that consistency. Mm-hmm. But I feel it, man. I feel it. Could be great. I feel it could be some good storytelling.
The question is basically, how often do you have opinions?
Well, I don't know if I'd get on with my opinions.
Well, business opinions or...
Yeah. I would love to, I've been doing a short series on LinkedIn most days. And what I would love to do is get on, and after I do the LinkedIn part, do a TikTok of the same material, just shorten it up a little bit.
Yep.
It's in a different platform, a little bit different content. See what happens, But that's I had never heard before that haters are a great thing on any platform. I have never, but it's probably not for the thin-skinned, I would assume.
I don't know. And you have to look at it. Well, I think about TikTok, because I think it's 80 characters in comments, so they're really short comments. Like on Facebook, if you get into a comment discussion with a person who knows how to read, like you can have now the nice thing is you can have an actually really interesting conversation on Facebook, because you can go into paragraphs. And sometimes I've had people who start as, they seem like haters and trolls. Then you're like, oh, you just have a different opinion than me. Okay. Oh, here's your sources. I see where you're getting that from. Here's my sources. And you can actually learn something. TikTok, you really can't do that because you can't put links in the comments, and it's just like, ah. But so when you realize that you've got someone who, like, their username is user1297463, they have no profile photo, and they're just like, you're stupid guy. It doesn't really hurt your feelings. You're like, you're a Russian bot, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah. So are you a Russian bot, or are you an Iranian bot, or are you a Chinese bot? That's really the only question you have for those kinds of people. And of course, because they are either, just honestly trolls, or they're professional trolls, because there are people out there who are paid by certain governments to, like, stir the pot. You don't feel bad getting real snarky with them. Alexander Hamilton type arguments. It's fun. But you can also just kind of ignore them and just say thank you for your contribution, or
absolutely,
thank you for your support. That's great when someone's like, "You're the stupidest thing that ever stupided." Thank you for your support.
The Bartles and James guys, thank you for your support.
Yep.
That was from a long time ago.
Yeah. But even on Facebook and LinkedIn, all comments are good comments. So I think LinkedIn's a bit pickier. If they're too short, they don't count as much. But negative comments don't tend to be short.
No.
Most people don't comment like, "You're dumb." They'll usually tell you why you're dumb.
Yeah.
And if they do it, the more they do it, the more the algorithm's like, "Oh, wow, this person really cares. And is really interested in engaging." So, so negative comments can be useful. It just, you do need to condition yourself to not take it personally.
Yeah.
When you get that negativity. But that's either people have to really love you, or you have to be contentious. Those are the two ways you're going to get that engagement, because all the platforms want things that are going to make people keep coming back. Arguments make people come back. Oh, notification, there's a new comment on the post I'm arguing on. I better get back in there and make sure I don't lose the last word.
I'm definitely going to lean on the side of love and not contention.
Yeah.
My skin ain't thick enough for contention. So, but no matter where you are on that spectrum, my gentle, beautiful listeners, that is a place. That is a place where, we're so conditioned to believe that the, whatever algorithm we're on sucks, or we don't even know what the word algorithm means. It means system. And we just are conditioned to going, nobody's going to listen to this. But TikTok's different. I'm really glad you brought TikTok up.
Yeah. And the fun thing with TikTok is most of the trolls don't make videos. So you make a video and someone disagrees with you. They disagree with you in the little 80 characters. And you can reply to comments with videos. So they're there, they're like, "You were wrong for this reason." And so then you reply with video. That comment appears on the video. And then it's you for up to 3 minutes if you do a long form video saying, and I had one, I mostly do the 1 minute because I need to be really interesting to keep you for 3 minutes. But I had one where someone I was talking about the labor shortage, and they said, "Here's an idea, let's tax all those people on welfare and make them work." And something along those lines. So I video replied to the comment, and I opened with, "Wow, this is so wrong. I'm going to need 3 minutes to answer this one," and just dove into tearing it apart on video. Good solid rant. People love a good rant, and just went at it. And even if I don't think the guy even commented again, but even if they did, I'm responding with a 3-minute video to which they get 80 characters of text. And
so let me get this straight then. Like, you as the content creator can respond in video, but they can't?
Anyone can respond to video. They just don't.
Oh, they just don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, there is certainly, it could happen that another content creator decides to video respond to your stuff. That's what stitching is. It's where they take 5 seconds out of your video and then they respond to it. But you're not usually going to get a troll. It's hard to troll someone in a video. Because a troll just sounds like an idiot. Because you can't be like, "You're wrong, you're dumb," and then you could respond to that and be like, "Really? That's your response that you have to me?" If you're comfortable on camera at all, then you probably have the advantage over the troll is like, "You're so stupid." I had one. This one was hilarious. We were debating economics, as we often do, because I about job policy and whatnot, and he said, "Take a basic economics course." And so I replied, I was like, "I believe I did take one of those at the beginning of my university days, at the end of which I got my degree in economics."
Yeah.
I did a video where someone was, they were just completely off in la la land.
Beautiful. Oh my God. I'm going to have to
I did a video,
and
and again, I don't have any idea how to use I don't know how to use the effects. I don't know how to use the filters or anything. So I did video with my diploma behind me, and I use my old phone as a prop. And in the video, I'm calling UMass, my alma mater. Then I'm like, hey, UMass Economics Department, I just found out from this guy on the internet, everything you taught me is wrong. We got to change the textbooks. Yeah, I did the classic one-sided conversation about how, this random dude on the internet who doesn't even have a profile picture just told me that everything we learned is wrong. And, we got to fix this. We got to get this guy in there, rewrite all the textbooks, rewrite all the theory. Everything we learned is wrong. Some random dude in the comments told me so. I think I'm up to 1,500 views on that video and a lot of lol comments. It was, but that's the thing, if the haters bug you, I think that's the frustration when you, like, say you make a Facebook post and somebody replies with something really ignorant. The best you can do is comment back, but it's still text versus text. Like, there's no oomph in it. I mean, you could make a new post to reply to them, but it's still text versus text. You can't overshout them. On TikTok, when somebody makes a really dumb comment, you can get louder than them because you can respond. Now, this does depend on you being good on, like, if you're not comfortable on camera and you're like, TikTok's not your platform. But if you're comfortable being on camera and you can get a good energy flowing, then it's a great platform for that. And if a hater bugs you enough, you can just demolish them another video, and that one might go viral.
There you go.
There's nothing they can do that's negative for you. They can give you more attention, and they can give you more material, and that's all a hater can do.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. You're making me want to jump back into that. It sounds so good.
Yeah. Well, and what I did was I'd walk my daughter to the bus every day. And so on the way back, it took about 2 or 3 minutes to get back home. So I'd record the video as I walked back. So if you look at my TikTok, there's a lot of videos of me walking down this like wooded path. That's our street. So there's all these videos of me talking about whatever, walking down the street. And you can tell based on the background, like if I had to re-record it.
Yeah.
If I start with the mailboxes, then I did it in one take. If I start, walking towards the house, I got home and decided to do it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's finding those, if you have a minute and someplace quiet enough to record, and actually there's noise cancellation now. So even like you're walking down the road and there's cars going by, you hit noise cancellation. And
they do keep developing that app, which makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
Things like Facebook haven't been developed. You can do something new now in what feels like a long time. So fantastic. Well, so folks, if you are looking for engagement, you feel comfortable in front of a camera, TikTok, you can't lose. It sounds like you just can't lose. Whatever mode you are going to use for engagement, please choose your weapon wisely. Know where your people are, visit them, encourage them, love on them. They'll come back to you. With that, I think I'm going to wrap up this beautiful episode. By the way, you can get a hold of Michael on TikTok. He is at the guy who knows a guy. Mm-hmm. So go get him. I think that's also your website, isn't it?
Website
the guy who knows
a guy with no the. So it's
okay.
All right. The guy who knows a guy on TikTok. No the. It's just guy who knows a guy because I couldn't get the guy who knows a guy on websites, sadly. But
yes.
I'm actually confirm that is the right one. Yep, there it is.
Perfect.
Up to 5,128 followers.
Woo! That's some cool stuff. And yeah, listen, no matter what you think of TikTok, Michael is a absolutely genuine superhuman guy who knows many, many, many people. So excuse me. Get a hold of this man. Do it. Follow him on TikTok. Write him. Smoke signal him. Whatever you need to do, get on his list of people that he knows. Because
I probably want to smoke signals. My office is in the basement.
Oh, that's true. Okay, no smoke signals, people. But a series of beeps. Try that. And with that, we'll wrap it up today. Just want to let everybody know, got an event coming up October 12th. Power networking. Speaking of networking, doing some power networking with Jane M. Powers, that crazy redhead, and I are gonna, we're gonna do a thing. We had a
That's pretty cool.
wonderful success the last time. A lot of people came. A lot of people show up that I didn't know, and it was an amazing time. So if you want to meet some awesome people, then Power Networking, and it's on October 12th. We're on LinkedIn, so find us. And that's all I have, my friends.
I totally be there, but I'm going to a live networking event like in New York City.
Oh,
With
dude.
like standing up and like drinking wine and handing out actual cards. It's crazy.
That does sound crazy.
It's like,
Although I would say go QR code. Handing out cards has become, but
oh no, I'm all about cards. That's I've maintained strong opinions about that because with
oh,
cards, the cards go in my pocket, and I will then get home and I will take the cards out, and that is my to-do list. If I
yeah.
scan QR codes, I've got contacts in my phone. I will have no idea who I talk to, no idea who I need to follow up with. So, so always carry at least one business card because you might run into me.
And if you do, it's going to be a great day, my friends. So that's it. Bots of love, and I'll see y'all later.